We're talking about eggs in a nest versus whatever the fuck he said a second ago.
Chucky egg and soldiers.
Yeah,
To be fair, most people just call it eggs and soldiers. I call it Chucky egg and
Yeah.
soldiers because that's what my mum said.
We call it eggs and soldiers.
Yeah. I think egg and soldiers is the actual name. Chucky egg and soldiers is just what I knew it as a kid. But
Eggs in a
still,
Nest is a real name.
no, it's not. Stop lying to everybody.
Here's what I see when I Google eggs in a nest. I see eggs in a fucking bird's nest.
Eggs in a Nest dish. You fucking Chris Page.
You just said Google eggs in a nest. I Googled eggs in a nest and I see eggs in a fucking bird's nest.
Fucking Ned walking around at Avery, just licking his
So,
lips.
just so we're clear, this eggs in a nest does exist as a breakfast dish.
Okay.
I'm patriotic tonight because I'm not in work and I get to watch the footy. That's what I'm happy about right now.
They call it football, we call it soccer.
When I fucking footy.
Yeah, football. Football over here is rugby union and rugby league, but football over there is soccer.
Whoa, one sec. Wait. What did you say that again, Mastermind?
Okay, sorry. Football over here is we call it rugby or rugby union. Rugby league.
Wait. You call rugby footy over there?
Yeah, and
Are
football,
you fucking retired? Are you actually taking the fucking piss right now?
No. We're going to the footy means we're going to watch the rugby or the league, and football over here is our soccer game.
I
matches.
cannot wait to take over your fucking country again. What the actual fuck are you saying? You call rugby footy? You got the All Blacks, one of the best rugby teams in the world, and you don't even call it a rugby team. You call it a footy team. Are you actually a spac? What the fuck are you saying to me right now? Oh, now we got another fucking Kiwi in here to fucking gang up on me. Fuck off, Alias. Get out of here, lad. Right. No, I'm not having this right fucking now.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I'm fucking crying.
So dumb.
Let's put a pause on this and actually record the goddamn episode.
We're not doing this right now. I'm stood up. I am pacing. I am actually pacing back and forth in my office. I am so angry. Why? Eggs in the nest. Fuck. Right. I'm sorry. Okay, carry on.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my
Don't
God.
give yourself a brain aneurysm, Noah.
I don't want to be like you, mate. It's all right. Fucking brain bleeding all over the place.
Oh, my God.
Wait. Did you say? Sorry. You see what big egg in a frame is what Big D called it?
No, it's not. He can call it whatever he wants. That doesn't change what it's been called for generations. Jesus Christ.
Generations. Your fucking country's 2 years old. Shut up. Generations.
2 years old. 1 second, I gotta go do my job. I'll see y'all.
See you later, mate.
Okay, let's get started here in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Xwf Podcast with your host, Chronic Chris Page, them no good bastards, Thunder Knuckles, Bobby Bourbon, and yes, if available, Bearded War Pig. And the action starts now.
Hey, welcome to another edition of the Xwf Podcast. Chris Page here, as always, being joined by none other than the current XWF World Tag Team Champions, them no good bastards, TK, Bobby Bourbon. TK, brother, welcome to the show, brother.
Oh, hello, everybody.
It seems so long since we've had conversations.
It's only been like a week.
It just seems like so much longer. Missed you, buddy. Missed you just as much as I missed our other co-host, Mr. Bobby Bourbon. How's it going, brother?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. A few things. I told our guests today, since in honor of them, I'm eating the most American food I can create, which is a red hot with chili. If you're not familiar, it's a DC kind of thing, I guess, or my region. If you ever came to DC, I would take you to Ben's Chili Bowl. I would get you a red hot. There is actually a picture of Obama eating one there. It's wonderful. I also have my cup of coffee. And to settle something that we were talking about a little bit earlier, this might get edited out. It's Eggs in a Basket. Go watch V for Vendetta. It's Eggs in a Basket. They talk about it in a film.
So, in other words, it's not eggs in a nest; it is eggs in a basket. All right. For
Whatever
those
you
of
want.
you who are
That's
not
what
who
the
weren't,
Grandma probably calls it. And you know what? That's okay, but it's Eggs in a Basket.
Ned Kaye, I know that you're listening. Fuck you, buddy. You were wrong. Guys, we've got a great show. I think here. I say I think because it's either going to be completely off the rails or it's going to be completely off the rails. Either which way, it equals entertainment value for our listeners out there. We have a very special co-host that we're gonna go ahead and bring on into the mix. You know him, you love him. He is everyone's favorite. Gator, welcome back as a special co-host today, sir. How's life treating you across the pond?
Thanks for having me. Right, so a fucking few things. One, thank you. I'm doing great. Two, if it's called Eggs in the Basket in V Vendetta, which is a mostly British cast, I will take that. Fuck Ned Kaye. He's a liar and a thief and a charlatan. I am getting drunk. I'm angry. I'm angry due to things that may be edited out. I'm not too sure if they will or not. We'll probably get to them anyway. And I'm currently watching the England game, which might date this podcast, but I don't care. So this podcast will go off the rails no matter what. But yeah, thank you all for having me here today.
It's okay, Gator. This will be an evergreen podcast. I'm sure England will have other games than the one you're watching today.
I really do hope. I really do hope. If not, I'm actually going to go see the England squad myself and slap them all, because if they don't win this, I'm going to cry.
This is what you would call a global podcast, if there ever was one. Our guest today, let's go ahead and bring him in. Staple to the Fed, Mastermind. Welcome to the podcast. You're on with TK, Burbs, Gator, myself. Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Finally.
Yeah, it only took, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. I don't know. How long have you been doing this goddamn podcast, boys?
Beginning of the year, I think. So,
Since
7 months?
1997.
It's been the NWO was cool. Mastermind it's where are you at exactly? Are you in New Zealand?
Yeah, New Zealand. And the southern part of New Zealand called Dunedin. And the South Island of New Zealand.
Peter, what do you say?
Oh, he is near Christchurch in New Zealand.
That's the one.
There should be a ding there. We got a lot to talk about here, guys. There's a lot happening in the mix between Savage, Warfare, Anarchy, and it all led to the War Games draft that took place, that went out earlier this week. Let's kick things off with Saturday Night Savage. It was a short card. TK, I'm going to throw it over to you to cover this program. What you got for us?
Well, up first we have Calypso versus anybody want to take a shot at this name before I butcher the shit out of it?
That's a Bobby call all day, every day.
His mouth is full.
Do I need to translate that one?
No,
as
I
well?
got that
Or-
one. I got that one.
Okay,
That's
okay,
what-
okay, okay.
That's
what he said.
My mouth is full, is what he said.
Now it's Apple. That name is Talia Ariano.
All right.
I mean, we're going to kick things off with Saturday Night Savage. Bobby, man, walk us through this program. Tell us what's going on here.
All right, Saturday, July 3rd, 2021, live from the St. Louis Zoo in St. Louis, Missouri. This was a fun card because it was taking place at a zoo. You usually don't have matches happening at zoos. People go to the zoo to look at the animals, not to, but so it starts out. We see the entrance of the St. Louis Zoo. Pip and Heather introduce us. First match is Calypso versus Talia Ariano in a Lion's Den match. Competitors are locked inside a Hell in a Cell-like structure within the lion enclosure, where the lions are roaming around the outside. Don't touch the sides. Pinfall or submission. As my mom would say, this is just sad for the lion. Little decent match, kind of brief. Had a lot of fun reading Calypso's work. Talia, she's kind of coming back into her own in the Fed. And she goes over here. Then we get a segment with Charlie. He's speaking Yiddish. Following that, we get Thaddeus Watts, versus Jerry Vaden in a Stampede match. What's a Stampede match, you're asking? Well, the ring is placed within a live stampede consisting of zebras, gazelles, Somali wild asses, warty pigs, giraffes, and more. Something has these hoofed beasts agitated, and they're not going to stop until we have a winner. So I'm just going to presume that they're like on a circular track so the animals can keep going, unless this is just like Super Nintendo physics and they just have it's just like that. Yeah. So the match was, again, a pretty fun read. A lot of back and forth. Whoever wrote the match definitely had some fun exploiting the fact that Thaddeus is huge, like the tallest guy, biggest guy in the XWF, and Jerry is not. Anytime you get to play with that kind of disparity and actually use the characters as they are, that's got to be awesome. The winner of this one, though, comes down, and it's Thaddeus. And following that, Ned Kaye comes out to celebrate with his guy because Thaddeus is a member of Avalanche.
Boo.
Let's not boo Avalanche. That can't be the only reaction they get. Then we go to a commercial for Across Enemy Lines. This is some cross-promotion bullshit that me and TK are doing, where we're going to win another Feds Tag Team Championship. It's going to be fucking awesome. We won't talk about that though. That's on the cross-promotion podcast. And this leads us to our big main event. This is an important one. This is probably one of the biggest main events on Savage so far this year, just because of it's setting the table for Savage for all of us. So before we go any further, Mastermind, any of our guests, do you guys want to talk about some of the undercard that I kind of just shot through?
I
Nope.
think it's adorable that you think I read Savage.
I was trying to be polite. That's why I said nope.
Okay, so we'll come down to the main event. It is the six-way match to determine the draft order for War Games. We have Miss Fury versus Deimos versus Betsy Granger versus Thaddeus Duke versus Dick Powers, Big Dick Powers versus Corey Smith. Survival of the fittest match. It's an elimination chamber style match where all competitors start And every 5 minutes, a wild beast is released from one of the 4 chambers around the room. Can you say it again? That's kind of sad for the animals. The elimination match, pinfall or submission. The winner of the match will decide the position first or sixth. The rest will be based on how eliminations go. And we've already had our wonderful, wonderful draft podcast. So the way that this panned out has already kind of been spoiled, but it was also spoiled on the board and on the card. So, hey. Ultimately, a lot of fun to read, even though deep down, kind of sad for the animals. Even though I've written animals getting killed all the time, doesn't matter. We go down, and Duke winds up winning, becoming first pick. Of course, he already made his pick. Following that, Corey Smith was number 2, then Betsy. Then we had Damos. Prior to that, Miss Fury was eliminated. And the first person eliminated was Dick Powers, who went limp early on. And that was savage.
Yeah, I was screwed. That was the best RP of my life.
Dick got screwed.
Dick got screwed.
Got very screwed.
I think overall with Savage there was some character development, like we saw with Theos Watts. I'm gonna probably mispronounce his name. I'm high as shit. I don't care. There was some development with the newcomer. Well, to me, she's a newcomer. Bobby, I was gonna ask you this when you were going over the show. You said that she's getting her feeding back underneath her. Who was the person that took on Calypso, and has she been around? Obviously, she's been around prior to, right?
Yeah, Talia Ariano was in the Fed maybe a couple of years back. She was obviously here before you were coming back in 2019. So she's not a new face, but she's definitely a welcome one. It's good to see her coming back.
Gator and Noah. I mean, no, God damn it, Gator and,
Yes,
and
Gator
Mastermind.
and
Y'all
Noah.
have been around for fucking ever. So, are y'all familiar with this newcomer to me?
I think this one was when I was had my 2 years off Xwf between 17 and 18. So I don't know. I haven't recognised the name or anything like that.
Yeah, she wasn't here very long, but when she was here, I remember facing.
Okay, so she's an unknown to me. That's what I wanted to know, and see if anybody else kind of had a line on her, see what she has to do. I think this boils down to the main event, and I think that yeah, we've had the draft. It's out there. This is a week. We're a week behind recording, basically. So it's just kind of like the big thing I want to talk about is it coming down to Corey and Duke going over Corey. Corey does not lose often. Neither does Duke, for that matter. So I wanted to, TK, let me come over to you first. What do you think about that? Because that's Continuum, and they kind of, they didn't explode by any means, but Duke getting the win here's got to be big, right?
I mean, that's huge. I don't think Corey's been pinned since like 2019, maybe. I think that's right. But I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Good job to Duke. But now there's more, so get ready.
Gator,
Yo.
what's your thought on that?
It's tough because it's a very it's a cool storyline going into it as well. If you're looking at it, I see it's friends, it's teammates facing off against one each other. Corey is one of the best writers in the Fed. Thad is one of the best writers in the Fed, and they got good teams next to him as well. No matter
I agree.
who really wins, it's more what's going to be the aftermath after the match. I think. I don't like. If Thad wins, great. If Corey wins, great. But what's going to happen after, I think, is going to be much more interesting, no matter what.
Mastermind.
Yeah, I
Me
agree
too.
with all that too. Yeah, I agree with that. All strong teams, and it's just that it's leading up to something big.
It's leading up to War Games, brother, and I mean that's going to be huge in its own right. Bobby, let
It's
me get your
It's one of the
perception on that.
it's one of the bigger games ever since I've been around with war games. It's going to be one of the most best ones.
sorry, if you don't mind, sorry, Robbie and Paige and that, but what I'm really, really, really interested in is because Corey has Alias in his team as well, and Corey has a briefcase, Alias has the Universal Championship. Like that is something. Um,
I was going to bring that
yeah.
up.
Sorry to steal
because
your thunder, but like
no,
like
there's a lot in play with this.
yeah,
I mean, with this
it's a huge
particular
match.
deal, like I mean, I've already run what if scenarios by Theo several times. Like, well, what if this happens? Oh, what about this or
Yeah,
this? Like, there's some shit that could very well happen, and it could shake the foundation of the Fed going into relentless. The intangibles out there are absolutely insane. Uh, there's just it is. It's I'll make you privy to a conversation that I had with Theo. Something I said to him is it's just good to sit back this year and watch this play out because there's so many stories that are going on between so many people that are intersecting at this one opportune moment, and it can directly dictate the pace of what happens moving forward for the next year, at
yeah.
least.
I'll put money on it. I do really think that War Games is going to be the biggest pay per view of the year. Like Relentless is coming up soon, and that's going to be massive. But I do think War Games is going to have
I
like a
second that.
huge
Yep.
impact.
It's like as a Fed, we're at a crossroads here with all this talent, all these different people, all buying for the same opportunity and the same spotlight and the same level of respect. And it's one of those situations where the cream is going to rise to the top. No questions asked.
Absolutely.
That closed out Savage. And we roll into Warfare on Wednesday night. Um, our road to the draft, quote unquote, is still in the mix at this point. Warfare is invading New York City. We're all over the place, all over the town. Kicking off Warfare is a quick little in-ring promo from CCP running down Main and several other things. If you want to know what's going on, go read it. Gets us to the first match, which is being guest refereed by Stephen Colbert at the Late Show set. It's Jerry Vaden, it's Vita Valentine. Jerry no shows. Vita's going over here. Back and forth, a little deal. I wrote the match, so I kind of know what's happening. TK, Bobby, anybody got anything on the opening match for Warfare?
I mean, Jerry Vaden didn't show up. Kudos to whoever did. It's always kind of a disappointment, when somebody no shows, you put forth some effort or a lot of effort.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
hopefully Jerry comes back and plays with us some more, and hopefully it's not too serious.
Yeah, I think you
Mastermind?
got it all covered, guys.
Oh, it's your favorite line of the entire podcast, isn't it?
Yes.
We roll into a quick little snippet segment. Something's going on. Some clicking is happening. It will translate out into something else a little further down the line. We get a Thad segment, or not necessarily a Thad segment, a Paul Heyman segment. Kind of laying some groundwork for odds and ends that's happening with the Duke character. Match number 2 on this show is Betsy Granger, Ariel Dixon. This is a race to the top of the Statue of Liberty. kudos to the match writer on this for stepping in and actually doing some research. I'll have you know that, like, legit, this guy took a tour, a virtual tour of the Statue of Liberty just to make sure that everything here fit. Betsy Granger's going over here. Not a big surprise. I think Ariel no showed on this one as well. Okay, Bobby, guys, panel. Do you guys have anything on this match that you want to talk about?
I think you got it all covered.
I'll take silence as key. We'll move forward. Because listen, let me sidetrack this because I think the real meat and potatoes of this podcast is going to come in the Q&A section. I'm just going to go ahead and say that now. I think that's where we're going to get a lot of entertainment value for sure. Paul Heyman, another promo, bringing out Thad. Thad is still in the midst of calling out Mark Flynn. There's a lot happening here with this story that is some goings ons, and if Mark Flynn ever was to answer the challenge here, I think he got a solid affair. My Mark Flynn is limited. I had a couple matches with him and years ago, back in the other administration's first little attempt at getting the Fed back up and running. Noah, do you know much about Mark Flynn?
He was one of sorry, Nora. He was one of my very first opponents when I first joined back in 2014. So I used to it was awesome going up against him. He was one of the good ones.
That was also one of the first set of RPs ever read before joining the Fed, or while I was in the Fed. Yeah, I am a Matt Flynn stan. I love Matt Flynn so much. He's one of the best characters, the best RPers I've ever had the pleasure to talk to in my fucking life. I stand by Matt Flynn as being one of the best XWF has ever seen.
Yep.
So see, in this moment, like, this is something's got to be happening here for Thad to be giving Mark so much attention. So we're gonna keep our eyes on this story, and hopefully everybody gets what everybody wants out of it. I think it'd be great to see the Mark Flynn character back in the mix. Okay, Burbs, anything on the possibility of Mark Flynn reemerging?
It'd be good if he does reemerge.
No, what did he say?
Shit.
Oh, it would be good if he does reemerge.
Oh,
Yeah, I just knowing what I know, I have played around with one of Flynn's alternate characters. I talk with him on Facebook. He's a funny guy. He's a nice guy, good guy. He would be an asset to the Fed if he came back with full time or in any capacity.
I completely agree with that 100%.
I think you guys got it all covered because
As we move into match,
I've only been here for like a year, almost 2 now, I guess, but still not long enough to know that name.
no, that's just the easy segue into match number 3. This one's taking place it's a Central Park brawl between Thrax and Jim Cadus. Shout out to the match writer here, R.O. Edgar. I really enjoyed this match. You could tell that he had a lot of fun with it. Even had to send him a little shout out when I saw that it was him that actually wrote this match. Good little deal here. Jim Cadus is picking up a win, which, on the Apex side of things, this is huge because they don't get many of them right now. They've only got this one in a tag. So, Bobby, TK, anything on Cadus and Thrax here?
I actually read both their work going into this. They both did a really good job. And I think the match shines that through. So
I'm gonna echo what TK's saying. Both of these guys put in some phenomenal work, and I definitely would not have wanted to be one of the judges on this match because this was a tight one. I think both these guys brought it. They both had that desire, and they brought good stuff. I was very happy with what I read, not just on the boards from their RPs, but also, the match itself was phenomenal. Good credit to R.L. Edgar. And that's what I think about it.
Mastermind. Let me come over to you.
No, I agree with what's been said. And I enjoyed reading their role plays, and yeah, they seem, both of them seem really into it and really wanted to get the win as well. But yeah, I agree with what they said.
What about you, Gator? What's going on in your neck of the woods with Cadus and Thrax?
Once again, I think it's adorable that you think I'll read Warfare, but not like. No, Cadus is my boy. I remember like I didn't know Cadus for a long time. He came back not too long ago before like dropping off again, and when I read his stuff, I was kind of like, whoa. Like Cadus is such a unique writer. Like a lot of the time, like I've never seen anyone like adapt to his style as well as he does. And I'm like, and because he's my team for War Games, I'm so happy to work with him. And I've talked to him a little bit, and he's such a nice guy as well. And Edgar, fucking again, great guy, love him. And I'm sure he wrote a good match, but I haven't read it sadly. But another thing as well, I did know about the captain's draft match, and I wanted to give a shout out to, because Big D wrote that match, and I thought that was a fucking fantastic match as well. That he wrote. But yeah, it's fucking Cadus is fantastic. Edgar is fantastic. They're both fantastic writers. Love them both, and like that's really it.
It takes us into a Billy B Blankenship promo, where we kind of get a look at what is this, Kyoto? Is that how you would pronounce this Yokozuna esque character? With some words towards Marth, and Fabulous Freddy. We'll see what happens there. We get back to a another spot where Jerry Vaden's been taken out. This will play into Anarchy, which would be the night after this show. So Jerry has essentially been taken out unknowingly by someone, which takes us to Times Square in the XWF Tag Team Championship. This one's been building for, you know, 2 or 3 shows. EXP's challenging the Bastards, and what better place to start than with TK and Bourbon on this one. I wrote the match, so I know how it plays and I know how it shakes. You guys retain the championships with the Rainbow Laser Death sequence.
Oh, I had a lot of fun reading the match. I don't want to talk too much about it because I was involved. Strong work from Big D and from Ned on their end. Sorry if I'm going to OC on who they really are, but I think they're pretty open about who they are in EXP. Had a lot of fun writing stuff for that. Me and TK were kind of under a crunch because we definitely we sat around on our thumbs for a while, like trying to figure out what to write. And then, Last RP is probably the shortest roleplay we've ever written, and it was well received. So hey, it was a great match. TK, what'd you think?
I think they did a really good job role playing against us, and all the credit in the world to them. The match was a fun read. I enjoyed it. That's pretty much all I got.
Mastermind, let me come over to you.
Ned's and Big D's first role play with the Blues Clues came out really well, and then just Bobby and TK were their normal selves, just got back into it and just mowed them down. So yeah, I expected that to happen.
Gator, what are you thinking about the Bastards retaining here? Not that you read it, but what are you thinking about them winning?
Since Ned Kaye is part of my War Games team, all I can say that he was screwed. The judges did a bad job of grading the RP. Personally, I kind of take it as an insult that the Bastards won this and screwed Ned Kaye once again out of acquiring a championship.
Well, in all fairness, he did call it eggs in a nest.
He did call it eggs in a nest when it's clearly eggs in a basket. Yeah, but so fuck him for that. All right, so his food choices are wrong, but his wrestling choices are correct.
Good cover. Good cover.
There we go.
Uh,
That's all I need to say.
Get another Cross Enemy Lines promo, July 13th, which is not too long from now, or has it already passed? I don't even know. What is it today?
For us right now, it'll be the 11th, but this will be aired probably after July 13th.
Okay, good. So 2 days from now, Across Enemy Lines will happen, and the Bastards will be taking on another tag team from another Fed. So, and for their championships. But it will lead us to the main event, which is taking place in Madison Square Garden. It is Morbid Angel challenging Thaddeus Duke for the Heart Championship. Really good, really well written match here. End of the day, Thad Duke goes over. Successfully retaining the championship, coming off of the captain's match, not even 4 days prior to this. This got to be another big win for Duke, another momentum building win for Duke. Mastermind, let me come to you first. Thad and Morbid, Thad retains here. The momentum continues to build.
Yeah, he's going from strength to strength. I thought Morbid would have been put in some more stellar work, but he seemed to be, he knew where he was at, so he did give it his all. So yeah, so that's what I thought.
Do you need me to translate at all?
Let's go ahead.
Okay, so Mastermind just called Fad a pussy and said it was fucking screwed. Morbid was screwed. And said that if Morbid gets screwed again, Mastermind's actually going to cause some problems in the Fed.
All right, well,
Wait, what?
I don't know how
Mastermind's
that's going to go
threatening-
over Mastermind, just so you know.
TK, let's chat me up. Thaddeus Duke retaining here.
Yeah, Thad retaining here. Unfortunately, Morbid missed, I think it was the soft deadline. And, it's good momentum going into War Games. And he's got a match coming up soon against Robert Maine. So, two big names getting knocked off before you fight Robert Maine going into War Games. Shit, that's pretty good.
Before we get into the closing segment, I got to back.
All right, fine. Don't ask me for my opinion. Fuck you. No, I'm fine. It's fine. No. It's okay. Carry on. Go into your closing segment. Fucking hell.
Gator, what are you thinking about that, buddy?
Wow, thank you for asking, Chris Page. Right. I have no opinion. No, I'm joking. So, I've known Morbid and Duke for many, many years. I love them both very deeply. Morbid holds a very special place in my heart because he's made probably the best like Gator cameos I've ever seen. He does such a great job with the Gator character. Me and Duke are in love. We're gonna have sex one day, so that's great as well. I think Duke retaining is a pretty big deal because Morbid, I don't think Morbid ever gets the recognition he deserves. He doesn't. He's one of not just one of the better RPers I've seen. He's probably the funniest RPer I've ever seen. Like, he really knows how to write comedy without it seeming like comedy, if that ever makes any sense whatsoever. Like,
Yep, makes sense.
yeah, he can play the straight man so well that it's 100% hilarious. And the way he's done his new character, where he's the whole Jesus Christ devoted Morbid Angel, it's just so fantastic to me. And the way Duke's going right now, it's just so incredible to see. Like Thaddeus Duke is just fantastic. He's just so fucking good right now. And I love reading them both, and I love seeing them both. And yeah, it's just a shame that Morbid missed the soft deadline. because it wouldn't be the closer match otherwise. But yeah, the Duke getting the win is to me a big deal, and it's nice to see.
It's a huge deal. There's the term "hot hand" gets passed around frequently, and Duke's got the hot hand right now. There's no denying it. There's no doubt about it. In character wise, you don't get better than this. You come off of you beat Corey Smith, who I don't believe Corey's been pinned since. And I know the Corey Smith character came back at high stakes last year for the championship tournament, or not tournament, championship battle royal. But I don't think that the Corey Smith character has been pinned since then. Like, even though he wasn't pinned there, he steamrolled everybody out and got everybody out but Duke. Putting someone down who has not been like legit pinned in almost a year, that's a big deal. And Corey's one of the biggest stars in the Fed. To come into, taking the win over Morbid. Morbid's a name. He's a former Uni champion. Didn't, hate that he did miss off deadline, because I think it could have been super close if 3 pieces of work would have gotten up between, both those guys. But either which way, Duke retains here, and he continues his trend, and he continues his momentum to what will arguably be his toughest defense today, coming up in a couple weeks. Bobby, are you back?
Yeah. I just want to go based off of what Gator was saying. Yes, Morbid is hilarious. He is one of the best comedy writers here. And when you say he doesn't seem like a comedy writer, like, the best way to describe that, and if you skim a Morbid Angel RP, it's not going to be funny. It's not going to be a comedy. You're going to miss like half of the jokes. But if you actually sit down and read the entire damn thing, then it's absolutely hilarious, because then you're going to notice everything. And that's one of the funniest things about Morbid to me, is that he plays off of that. There are people who just skim RPs and miss out on half the jokes.
Robbie, that is absolutely perfect. No, you were completely right with that.
Thank you. You were right too. Together we were both right.
With our powers combined, we Voltron into a cohesive sentence.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna go back.
Before we get to the show close, we gotta back up and go to the Bastards and EXP, the post match there. A little snip segment with Drew Archild making a challenge to CCP, which gets you to your closing spot. Paige is back at Madison Square Garden at this point, and there's a little kind of like a little teaser altercation kind of between Duke and Paige on the way out. The history there is well chronicled. Ultimately, show closes with CCP accepting Drew's challenge for Warfare, and that takes us out. And it would lead us to the first ever BWO Anarchy show. Gator, let me pick your brain on that one. The Thugs and possibly the Bastards having a showdown.
What show are we talking about right now?
Jesus fucking Christ! Pay attention.
No, what show are we talking about?
The Thugs going over the Syndicate.
No, but on what show? On what show?
It's on Anarchy.
Anarchy.
Never heard of it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, I can talk about that one then. All right, so, yeah, I don't know, fucking all right, cool. I don't give a shit. All right, all right, okay. I'll give it a bit of context. Match I was watching. Italy just won, so honestly, I'm depressed right now. I don't really care what happens. So, fuck Bastards, the shit. Fuck Thugs, the shit. I'm derailing this podcast. You're all shit, and I don't care anymore.
It's a good win for the Thugs. It could set up some things down the line.
It was a good win for Italy too.
All right, go fuck yourself, right? You're an asshole, and I don't want to be friends with you anymore.
Carry us on, TK.
And then we have a number one contenders championship match. The dethroner Jerry Vaden versus Terry Borden. Out comes Terry Borden, sporting the new Hollywood look because he joined Bob. Good career move. Totally a good career move because he picks up the victory here and becomes the number one contender for the Anarchy Championship.
Can I
After
ask
that-
something as well?
Sure.
Sorry. When is Bob Harley going to join Bob?
That needs to happen, doesn't it?
That really does need to happen. I think that'd be the best move you guys ever make.
I think you're right.
Can I ask a question also?
Sure.
He
how
asked if
many-
to ask a question also. Okay, carry on. That's fine. Sorry.
How many people are now in Bob?
996.
Yeah.
Well, we
okay.
got a celebrity wing and everything. I mean, what do you... there's tons of people in Bob. Elon Musk's in Bob. Back to the show. We have another Pornhub premium ad, guys. That's what's up. More
Ching.
dollars. Then, up next, we have the title unification match. The BWO Heavyweight Championship and the Internet Championship. Now, Atara Themis will not be competing in this match, but instead Big Preach will be taking her stead. She got hurt and she couldn't compete. So Ms. Fury unifies both titles, and Big Preach was kicked out of Bob because he lost.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Devastating. Devastating.
he dims the brakes for Big Preach, I guess. Then we have then we have a Big D segment here, which leads to another Pornhub premium ad.
Cha-ching.
Now
How much are you getting paid for these porno premiums?
we don't have
Sizable
to discuss numbers right
contribution.
now. We don't have to talk about
Sizable
numbers right now.
contributions.
All right,
Following the Pornhub premium ad is the Scaffold Match, which I do believe is the main event of the evening.
Hmm?
Yes, it is. Centurion versus Ruby. Centurion must win in order to continue his quest to get the BWO World Title opportunity. But Ruby's title was just put on the line tonight. So they both have something to lose. This is a big match where Centurion goes over and takes his girlfriend's title from her.
Egotistical bastard.
You know?
Couldn't let her just have her moment.
Nope, couldn't
Couldn't
do
let
it.
her be
could
the
he?
champion.
Nope.
No, he couldn't do it. He just
It's just typical Centurion. He always has to be...
he's just an egotistical prick.
Exactly. Fucking the worst person I've ever had the displeasure to meet in my life.
Who does that to his girlfriend? His own girlfriend.
Exactly.
It's
What
terrible.
a dick. People fucking cheer him. I don't get it. It lacks rationale.
I don't even think he's a real Centurion. I doubt he's even from Ancient Rome.
You're right. Then we have a cross-promotional video for July 13th, which you're probably listening to this after July 13th. So, and that's the close of Anarchy, guys.
But before we get into the next week's cards and going over those, this is something we do just about every show. I want to kind of pick the brains here. Like, who had the best show? My opinion, the biggest match between the three shows was obviously the captain's match on Savage. I think Warfare had a lot more story to it and story development, but I think BWO's Anarchy show was really solid as well. Who had the best show? TK, let me come to you first.
Well, I'm going to have to say the BWO show is the best show because of Pornhub Premium. And that's it. That's what I think.
Burbs.
So I think for me the best show was I liked Warfare. There was a lot of fun to read. Anarchy was pretty cool, but it was Savage just because it had that big captain's match, which feeds directly into the pay-per-view.
Mastermind.
Yeah, Warfare for me because I'm pro Warfare. And then because of the captain's match on Savage, I'd go with Savage next and Anarchy the third and last.
Over to you, Gator.
Oh yeah, Warfare because I'm New Zealand. No, fucking Savage because I was on it and I'm the best and everybody loves Dick. And also big shout out to Pornhub and Anarchy.
Of course, we would lose the recording where I actually told a good joke, and now I don't remember it anymore.
Yes, and now you will never tell a good joke ever again.
Ever again.
Ever again.
You get one of those gems, and it's
fucking
gone like a fart in the wind.
TK heard Chris Page say to tell one good joke and just unplugged his internet. That was
He did. It's exactly what it was. It's like, you're not getting over on this one, buddy. Let's roll into our next round of programming. I believe these are the go homes for the pay-per-view. Is that right, guys? Does that sound familiar?
Yep.
Yeah, it tracks.
Okay, cool. So we're all roads to War Games. What do we got going on Saturday night, Bobby?
Well, Saturday Night Savage. Coming to you live from SeaWorld. And, speaking of all these Pornhub ads, SeaWorld smells like porn. Yeah, I've been.
Straight fish, man. I'm telling you, straight fish.
That's bodily fluids. So, hailing from Orlando, Florida, that's SeaWorld. I've never been to that one, but I bet you it smells just as sexy as any other SeaWorld. The opening match is going to be Calypso versus Jerry Vaden versus Talia Ariano. It's a Shark Tank elimination match. Each side of the ring will have a tank filled with a different shark. You must throw your opponent inside of one of the tanks in order to eliminate them. Last one standing wins. This is not only your opening match. This isn't some blood feud ending grudge match. This is just an opening match where people are trying to murder each other with sharks. I'm excited. Our next match.
It's just missing Ian Ziering.
Yeah. Our next match is Tommy Wish versus North Korean war criminal. It's a flag match. Winner will be the first man to climb the turnbuckle opposite them and retrieve their respective country's flag. So we go from super thematic Shark Tank match at SeaWorld to patriotism at SeaWorld, which that actually makes sense because SeaWorld is an Anheuser-Busch park and they do offer a military discount. Then we have Axel Van Osborne versus Corporate Chaos in a corporate lumberjack match. Security guards will be surrounding the outside, ready to beat up, toss in whoever exits the ring. Rumor has it, Theo has paid them handsomely to ignore anything Chaos does. So, edge to Chaos because he's corporate. Following that, in a surprise turn of events, friend of the podcast, Betsy Granger, out of character, wasn't able to make this show. So I will be challenging Corey Smith for the television championship. Corey may choose the stipulation in his first role play. I'm going to say this right now, and I know Corey's of the same mindset. I'm winning this match. And I know, Corey, if you're listening right now, if you're not listening, if this show happens before you hear this, I know damn well you're thinking to yourself in this match. So let's bring it. It's always a good time playing against you, but I'm winning, and I'm sure you think otherwise. And then we go to the main event. We have Alias versus Atara for the Universal Championship in a singles match.
It's a solid show. It's going to take us over to we'll cover all these and then we'll go in and talk about them if you want to. It takes us over to Wednesday Night Warfare. We're looking at the show taking place from Disneyland. Your opening contest. It's a triple threat. It's going to be Vita taking on Betsy, taking on Centurion. The special guest referee, Donald Duck. It's a a Big Thunder Mountain Railroad match. All three competitors start on a train, then have to get their opponents off the train. The last one left standing wins. Special side note, they got to talk about the train in their first role play. Match number 2, it's going to take us into Calypso versus Themis with Popeye the Sailor Man and special guest referee. Which will be the ring is riding around the Astro Orbiter. Both players need to keep their balance, otherwise they'll fall victim to the one who stays upright the longest. They have to talk about the Astro Orbiter in their first role play, or only role play, rather. That's a one role play match. Match number 3, Dolly Waters, Felix Jones, Grumpy the Dwarf is your special guest referee. The ring is on the Golden Zephyr. Start of the match. Wait a minute. It says start the match in the ring, and at the end of 10 minutes, you must throw your opponent outside of the ring to the ground below to win. You must speak about the Golden Zephyr in your first promo. Match number 4, Extreme Championship. Listen, I've got my eyes on this one because I think that this is going to be huge. Jim Cadus and Lacana, the special guest referee, Goofy. This ring is going to be in Goofy Sky School. The match is high above the ground, and it's in a cage. The first to climb out of the cage and drop down to the ground below, using anything at your disposal, wins. You had to speak about that in your first role play. Match number 5 is Drew Archild and Chris Page. Scrooge McDuck will be the referee here. This will take place at the Amway Arena. Which takes us to the main event and probably the biggest heart title match on a Warfare in a very, very long time. Robert the Omega Main challenges Thaddeus Duke. Mickey Mouse is your special guest referee. It takes place at the Amway Arena in Orlando, and Thad can name the stipulation in his first role play. Solid lineup. TK, take us to Anarchy, BWO Anarchy.
BWO Anarchy comes to you live from Mississippi Coliseum in Jacksonville, Mississippi. First match, we have the God of Death versus Lord Rab in a Fury's Rules match. Second, we have a street fight, Terry Borden and Solace Statham. This match will take place in a parking lot where any and all weapons are legal, including the cars. Then we have a tornado tag match. The Fabmungus, BMI, and Preesh versus the Thugs, Tommy Wish and John Black versus Calypso and Jamaican Jimmy and Sint Rubian. Sint and Ruby. After Sint beats up his girlfriend, he's going to tag with her. That's good stuff. Then we have Harmon Grace Hayes versus Edward Jr., both making their debuts in a Fury's Rule match. Osira Themis versus Jordan Knoxville in a Fury's Rules match. And a number 2 contender for the Anarchy Championship, Big Money Oswald versus Thaddeus Watts in another Fury's Rules match. Then we have our main event of the evening for the Bob World title, Miss Fury versus Big D in, yes, a Fury's Rules match.
Mastermind, chat me up on these cards, man. What are you looking forward to?
The main event of Warfare, and the main event of Savage. That's all I got.
Okay, when you look at all three of these cards, man, where are your eyes at? What are you looking at?
Well, for me, it's the television championship because I love that belt. And then you have Robert Maine and Thaddeus Duke. That's just big stuff going on both shows. That's where my eyes are this cycle.
Gator?
My eyes are really on Warfare because it's been a long time since Warfare has actually been fun, and having it at Disneyland is, a huge thing. I'm not sure about the credentials of Groovy and Scrooge McDuck. Honestly, I think Scrooge McDuck can be bribed pretty easily, and I don't trust that. And Goofy, as we all know, is retarded heavily. So again, I'm not too sure, but it looks like a very the Warfare card looks very, very fun. I'm looking forward to that one the most. Also, shut up, Ned.
Finally, Bobby?
Not gonna lie, looking forward to Savage again. Anytime I get to work with Corey, I'm happy. So Warfare is going to be a lot of fun just because it's happening in two different states. Disneyland's in Anaheim, California, and then all of a sudden we go to Orlando. So there's that. And I think BWO Anarchy, that's going to be a lot of fun too, to just see what happens. A lot of Fury's rules matches. And, them BWO boys, they're going to bring something to the table that's worth reading. But personally, yeah, I've got a match with Corey. I'm looking forward to that.
I think all three shows have very strong cards going into the War Games pay-per-view. I think we got a very big main event on Savage with Corey and Bobby. We got a big main event on Warfare with Rob and Duke. And we've got a shitload happening on BWO Anarchy. One thing is for sure is that all roads are leading to War Games. That is a foregone conclusion. And everybody at this point is looking to jockey for position, if you will. So momentum is key and it's crucial. And this is going to be a solid cycle to see who can really build it going into the pay-per-view. That will wrap it up for the show recaps. And now we'll take us to what I feel is probably going to be the biggest train wreck of all train wrecks. It's the question and answers segment of the portion of the show. Excuse me. just get ready, guys, because I have a feeling that we're going to go all over the place. Bobby, you want to ask the first round of questions?
Sure. Mastermind, are your nipples pierced?
No.
Okay.
Do you want me to translate that for him?
Yeah.
He said yes, absolutely.
Thank you. I'm glad that we do have an actual, across the ponder to translate the other across the ponder. Because one's going west and one's going east.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to make the podcast as precise and as not off the rails as it can be.
Oh, no. But I'm here to make it go off the rails. And I'm your across the ponder. And I'm also Mastermind across the ponder. And that's funny because I don't really ponder all that much. So
that's so bad. Fucking Chris Page made a bad joke than you today. Shut up.
I know. I'll go back to reading other people's bad questions. Actually, this is a good one. This is from Dolly. This is towards Mastermind. I believe that after all of these years, Mastermind has been cooking up a plan to take over the Xwf and exact revenge on his old foes, especially Doc, and especially Gator. When Mastermind finally does return, whose minds are in most danger of being mastered? Which minds from this new influx of talent would be most fitting for helping Mastermind achieve this?
I'd like to go after Doc and Gator. That's why I asked if Gator was coming back. But that's okay. I'd take on Noah again if I have to. But yeah, I'd like to, for the new batch, I'd like to go up against like Ned Kaye again, Marth, Elias, and yeah, most of the newbies. They seem really cool to go up against. And TK as well.
Do you need a translation at all for that? Or are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
Right. Which era of real life wrestling is your favorite? And who are some of your favorite wrestlers and matches?
The WWE current era is pretty cool, plus the one in the 2000s. And my favorite wrestlers are like John Cena, John Cena and John Cena mainly.
John Cena, and John Cena. That's his three
I
top three.
can't think of anyone else.
Super Cena for the win.
John Freena. Yes. It's John Cena and the Bella Twins. That's who are his favourite wrestlers ever. Okay.
I'm glad you translated that.
Yeah.
Besides e-fetting, do you have any other creative talents or hobbies?
Yes, I love writing. Writing is one of my biggest things to do, and I like taking down stats and that as well. So I do look into like sports stats of like the Kiwis and like the cricketers and the rugby players and the league players, and I do all that sort of thing too.
Sorry, gotta interrupt. What do you say? The rugby players? Yeah.
Yeah, rugby players.
Rugby players, okay, not footy players. Okay, carry on, sorry.
Okay, just to
Rugby
clarify,
and
footy takes a different meaning across every continent. For one of y'all, it's a rugby player. For one of y'all, it's like European rules, football, soccer. For us, it's a type of pajamas. So it's what you sleep in, footy pajamas. That's all we got. You guys are lucky. Footy sounds more like hardcore. Our footies are for like toddlers. So
I'm gonna remain quiet until a certain question comes up, and then I'll have a revenge.
okay, fair enough. What are some of the reasons you've stuck around the XWF so long?
because it's like family when you get into it, and it's like it's very funny people like yourselves, and it's very close knit community. That's what I like all about XWF.
Gotcha. All right. Well, and the last question: have you ever thought about designing Mastermind hoodies or jackets to send to your victims who live in colder areas?
No, I haven't. No.
All right. Anybody else want to take it away with the questions? No, they don't, but they're going to have to. TK, take over.
When do you plan on making a full-time return to role-playing? And
I'm
will you
scarfing
be
down brownies. I'm sorry.
When am I thinking about returning full time? Next year in January, because I feel like I'll be back to normal, be able to write full time again next year. I'm trying to get there at the moment, but at the moment it's not working. It's like when I had my writer's block in 2016-17, and that was way worse than writer's block that I have now. But it's just trying to get it out and write. It's just doesn't want to come out sometimes, and I just don't want to like be in the middle of a match and it doesn't come out, and then I have to like lose big time that way,
right?
Sort of thing.
Try Pornhub. When I'm trying to get it out, if I go to Pornhub 5 minutes later, it's out.
Goth.egg at pornhub.com. There we go. Getting that fucking bullshit in again. Woo!
I was fixing to say I don't think Dick Powers has ever had that problem before. coming out and all.
Mastermind, will you be sticking with your current character, or will you be creating something new when you do come back?
I think I'll be sticking with Mastermind because I know all about him, and and my other characters that I do as well around him. And it won't be for a while before I bring in a newer character because I just know Mastermind has too much to gain because he wants to get the TV title back and he wants to have a shot at the Heart title, and he wants to have a shot at the Extreme title as well. So getting one of those trees would be the best bet that that Mastermind wants to get a hold of, sort of thing.
All right.
If you know, yeah.
What's the biggest difference between the run you had when I first joined in 2014? This is Vinny speaking. And the current run after your hiatus.
The first time around, I was just learning about how to role play and how to go up against other people. And the second time around, after I had my 2 years off with writer's block, I came back and won a couple of things, which was one of my biggest enjoyments of that time when I won some titles. So yeah, so that was the biggest difference.
I have some input on that, actually, if you don't mind. Like the first time that you were around in 2014, like Mastermind was like a super face. Like you didn't even fucking swear or anything. Like you were very, very clean. You were very PG. And then when you came back after the hiatus, like it took a little bit, but you started kind of embracing more of a heel side to things.
Yeah.
Like where did the heel side come from?
I felt like it just needed to come out because I wasn't enjoying being the clean side of things, and I felt like if I tried to be a bad guy, and it worked, and it just and I enjoyed doing that, and it just felt natural to go from good to bad, and yeah, just like that, it just felt natural.
And what changes would you like to see in the future?
In regards to what?
Your guess is as good as mine. We'll just say the XWF as a whole.
Oh, I don't want to see any changes. It's going really, really well, and it'll continue to grow. It's been around for the last almost 30 years. So, yeah. So I enjoy it where is it at now, sort of thing.
Gotcha. Paige, you're up.
Okay.
If Paige is busy, I could take this question if you want to.
Yep, go for it.
Sure. All right. So, oh, fuck you. So this bullshit comes from Alias. These aren't so much questions, but a challenge for the host with Masterminds there as the judge. The following are married place names, town cities, geographical features, etc. in New Zealand. Each of the hosts will need to have this thread open when they ask it. All right, go fuck yourself. Go for Alias, actually. Each of the hosts will have to have this open when they ask it so they can read the names. The game, the first host tries to pronounce the first name, rotate between each host for each new word, i.e. the new word equals new host. After each has attempted 3 words, the winner will be the one with the most correct answers or the most correct approximations. If there's a tie, use the tiebreaker. Mastermind, you better brush up on your proper pronunciation. Don't be a fucking white boy about it. Number 1, Taranaki.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Taranaki.
It's Taranaki, but you're close to it.
What does it mean?
It's a place. It's like a city, but it's not. It's an overall suburb of 2 or 3 little towns, sort of thing.
Okay. Does anybody else want to give a try at this, or just me? Do you want me to continue?
I'll say that not any one of these words will I try to say. I will say.
All right. Me and Mastermind can play this then. All right. So number two.
I see Pukaho.
Pukakoi.
Pukakoi. I was going to say that. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm sick. What's Pukakoi?
Pukakoi is a small suburb in Auckland, which is up north. So it's just a suburb.
What
Okay.
about Hokkaido?
Waikato, yeah. It's another township
Close.
sort of thing.
Close. All right, Gator, go ahead. You try.
Okay. Kayakora.
Waikato, yep.
Yeah.
It's actually the English word for it is the place where you eat crayfish. So kai is food and coda is crayfish. So eat crayfish.
You named a fucking place after that.
Yeah.
All right, fair. All right. Anyone else want to say number 5?
What is this? Amaru? Mamaru?
Amaru.
I was way the fuck off on that one.
It's just outside here of Dunedin. It's Amaru sort of thing. It's 2 hours away.
Alias is backseat game at the moment, saying roll them as. Amaru.
Alias is laughing at me
Amaru.
hysterically right now. In all fairness, who isn't?
I'll try number 6. Tapo.
Topor.
Topo. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
Paw
on
means
that.
night and toe means like a the toe of your foot sort of thing, which is not really, but its paw is the night.
All right.
So it's toe paw.
Number 7. Fuck me. What the fuck do you say? You fucking cunts are so backwards. Aurora.
How's it spelt?
Aotearoa.
It's Aotearoa. So it's the land of the long white cloud. It's the official name of New Zealand for the Māori. Aotearoa.
Fuck off. Number 8. T Aramutu.
Yeah, close. Te Awamutu.
I got close. I'll take that. And number 9. Wakatani.
Whakatane. Yeah, no, it's Whakatane.
All right. I'm going to put the tiebreaker in the chat just so you can give it. Alias said it during a break.
No, I can't say it. No, I can't say it.
You're going to try it.
I can't pronounce it.
It's in the chat now. You give that a try now, Mastermind. I swear to God.
No. I'm not online at the moment, luckily.
All right, Alias, unmute and fucking try it. It's say it out now.
He did it really well.
You did really, really well.
All right, you did pretty good on some of those other ones. You got to roll those R's, so it's like a R for whenever it's an R. But the key to this is you got to break it out into actual words when you know it. So it should be. Let's see if I can do it right. Mata whakatangi hanga kawawa tamatia turupukaka piki moanga horanuku pokai whenua ki tanatahu.
It's one.
Hey, what the fuck does that mean?
That means it means the summit where Tamatia, the man with the big knees, the slider, climber of mountains, the land swallower who traveled about, played his kawawa to his loved one. And a kawawa is a flute. So there you go.
In other words, it means aliens.
Learn stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Sure.
He just read from a Necronomicon. Like, he just cursed all of us so we don't even know it.
Bro, his head was spinning the entire way
Yeah,
around
exactly,
his body while he was saying
dude.
that. No, I mean, I get it.
Fucking insane.
Well, there's a $1 million question for you, Mastermind. Why do you call it soccer, and why is Noah wrong for calling it football?
Right, okay. No, shut the fuck up. Right. So, Okay.
First of all, this is for
No,
Mastermind.
shut the fuck up right now. Shut the fuck up right fucking now, you absolute fucking bellend. Right, so this fucking Kiwi cunt calls rugby football. You fucking Yanks, you call it American football. Even though, when does fucking feet take place? When you're taking a fucking field goal, it's hand egg. It's not a fucking ball at fucking all. I don't give a shit. No, it's like with football in England, you play it with your feet and it's a fucking ball shape. In America, it's an egg shape. In rugby, it's an egg shape. You're all fucking wrong. We invented the sport. Shut the fuck up right now. We invented the fucking sport. We invented the fucking language. We get to name it whatever we want. You're all fucking wrong.
I'm going to support Gator
Oh
on
my
this one
God.
because there's only 2 countries in our hemisphere that call it soccer. Every other country in the Western Hemisphere calls it football. FUT.
Yes. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Let me back this up because I think we have this piece recorded. If that is legitimately the case, did Noah not call it soccer earlier?
That's when I was depressed about Italy winning, though. So,
Oh, so
Yeah,
now
he
you're
did
not
call it
depressed.
soccer.
Okay, I got you. So,
no,
right,
no.
Mastermind,
I'm too drunk to be sad right now.
So, Mastermind, the original question goes to you, sir.
Man, all right, whoa, one sec. Before Mastermind answers this question, shut up. I want all right, TK. Can you just like look below that question, that page rudely put up, and just read Dick Powers' first question to Mastermind before he answers this cunt's stupid question.
Sure. Before answering the question above, just to remind you whose flag is on your damn flag. Actual question.
Go on, Mastermind.
I've always.
Go on.
Hold on, I'm confused. What's the question?
Question is why is it called soccer, and why is Noah wrong for calling it football? That's the original question. This is a passive-aggressive attempt to get you to bypass the question. That's what that is.
Yeah, this is no. That's passive aggressive, my ass. Just remember, the Union Jack is on your flag, you fucking Kiwi cunt. So don't be a little bitch when you're answering this question. And be right. Be British about it.
Because we're not part of Britain anymore.
Shut the fuck up, this you are.
We're our own country. We're a standalone country in the Empire, in the British Empire.
You believe that? Yes, you do think that you are. But our flag is still on your flag. So just remember your place. It's all I'm saying, I guess.
And guess
Can
what?
I get an answer to my question?
Okay, so here's the question. Here's the answer to the question. We call it football because
Next question.
we call it soccer because we can soccer it, and the football is like playing with the ball on your foot, sort of thing.
All right, so Mastermind's wrong. Let's proceed. Okay. TK, take it away, please.
All right. We asked this of all of our guests. Fuck, marry, kill. Chris Page, Thunder Knuckles, and Bobby Bourbon.
Jesus Christ, you made his brain bleed again.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's the question? Sorry, what's the question?
Chris Page brought it back. He made a good joke in a podcast. We're done. We're out. TK, stop recording. We're good.
We ain't gonna beat that.
Fuck, marry, kill. Fuck, marry, kill. Chris Page, Thunder Knuckles, and Bobby Bourbon.
I don't know. What's the question?
You have to fuck one, you have to marry one, and you have to kill one. Chris Page, Bobby Bourbon, or Thunder Knuckles. Told you, we made his brain bleed again, guys.
Okay, so kill Bobby Bourbon.
Hey.
Wow.
Wow, straight
Fucking
up.
Rude. Holy shit.
What was the other two things?
Fucking marry.
Marry Chris Page and fuck EK.
TK's taking it in the ass, and Bobby's buried underground.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll live in matrimony, brother.
That was fucking rude, Mastermind. You should be disgraced.
There's a legitimate Dick Powers question. Excuse me. Uh, War Games comes to mind as a highlight of mine. Is there anything that you've loved working with, or anyone that you would love to work with?
TK I would. Marth I'd like to go up against and work with as well, and Ned Kaye I'd love to work with as well. This is my first War Games that I haven't been associated with in ages, so I'm disappointed about that. Yeah, and I'd like to work with Noah again, so yeah, that'll be cool. That would have been cool.
Here's an interesting one that I like to ask everybody when they come on the show is, especially if you've been around for a hot minute, because the answer can vary. If you had a Mount Rushmore of writers, who would you put on it as far as e-fetters are concerned?
Doc, Chris Page, Gator, Vinny, Thad, mostly all the ones who have become universal champions.
Okay. Any more questions for Mastermind?
What's your writing process like? What gets you in the mood to write?
Okay, when it starts, I just have to start on a small subject, and if that gets me going, like writing full bore, then I enjoy picking the subject, and then I just go for it. Then if I pick another subject, and if it doesn't work for me, it won't come out, it won't work, it won't write for me. So I just need a specific subject before I just start like writing full bore, which I'm happy about. But because I'm not doing it at the moment, it's not working for me, sort of thing. That's why I can't write. It doesn't want to come out.
Here's one for you. You've been here for a hot minute. Past versus present. Like, what are some of the most memorable things that you have seen in the XWF, dating back to when you first came into the Fed, all the way up to present day?
Okay, so when Vinny was writing Up a Storm, he was awesome, as was Doc, as well as Gator and those people. Compared to now, where it's like you've come back, Chris Page. TK's writing awesome. Bobby is another awesome writer. The up and comers are like Ned Kaye, Big D, Marth, Elias, who I'd love to work with those guys as well. And yeah, and that's all I've got there.
Bobby, do you have anything? Because I thought I saw you chiming in, trying to.
No, I've just been sitting back. TK asked the question I was going to ask right just now. I guess, Mastermind, what would you consider, what are some of your favorite books? You know, some of your favorite literature to read that, and on that note, what would you consider to be maybe an influence on your writing style?
Enid Blyton's famous 5 books for sure. The Doctor Who books as well. And mostly, just mainly those 2 types of genres and that.
Do you need me to translate there?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. So Mastermind said that his favorite book is The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
It's not.
And he also said that the best writer he's ever seen is Stephen King when he made a short story about those fucking lorries that come to life. Maximum Overdrive. That's it.
I'd go with that one.
That's his favorite short story ever written.
Yeah, I'd go with that one.
Peter, you have any more questions for her?
So like the whole thing like about you, like that I've really, really, really respected about you is that you've been such a workhorse in the XWF. Like it doesn't matter about wins or losses, you've always given your all every single week. That's why you take hiatuses, which is very, it's a very normal thing to do. But like when you're in the moment and you are writing week to week, despite the losses, despite other shit that's going on in your life, like really, what drives you to just like keep going and keep banging out these like good RPs?
Like if I come up against people like yourself, Gator, I want to make sure I do really well because you guys are legendary. That I really want to put myself out there with you guys and write as best as I can, as much as I can. And when I still lose, I make sure that I have fun losing, and I know I'm going to lose, but I know I can like give you guys a challenge, and then make it as best as I can to try and win. But I know that I'll lose, but I'll lose trying, sort of thing. That challenged me is to.
Sorry, yeah, I think that's an amazing like outlook on it. Is like anyone who's listening to this is like, if you lose, have fun losing. I think that's such like
Exactly.
a great,
Give
beautiful thing.
Give your opponents a challenge. If you know you're going to lose, give your opponents a challenge. Show them that you're.
That's great. That's really
My
good.
philosophy on it's very simple: win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat.
No, I think that's a really good thing to say. It's like because like a lot of people like, and myself included, like back in the day, it was like I always wanted to win, but like now, like I have my moment and stuff like that. It's like I do think that's such a great things to do. It's like no matter what, have fun. Like even if you lose,
Yeah.
have fun losing. I think that's a great thing to say, Mastermind. Honestly.
Reality is nowadays, or even back in the day, like wins are what drive people, and
Yep.
and I don't think people quite understand it until you get older, because I think we've all been there where we've all wanted to win every fucking match we've been a part of. As you get older and you start seeing the game for what it is, you come to develop and you come to understand that it is not always about wins and losses. It's about having fun, and it's about telling a story.
Yep. Yep. You have to enjoy it in order to either win or lose. Because if you're losing all the time, you need to focus on making sure you're having fun losing, and giving the other people a challenge to win against you. Because if you don't make them challenge you, it's too easy for them to win. So they're just going to know, I'm going to beat you. If you give them a challenge to say, okay, here I am, I'm going to lose against you, but you've got to earn it. You need to earn it to win. And that's the biggest thought process that I wanted to give my people that I challenge against.
I get it, man. I understand. I wish that that a lot of people were under that same mentality and that same perception. I think you'd see a completely different product across any Fed if people would kind of see it from that perspective. You're 100% correct. If you're not having fun, then why the fuck are you here?
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
We do have a couple of people listening in, and I'll open it up for some questions if they have any. We do have Alias listening. We have Ned Kaye listening. We have Thad Duke listening. Alias, do you have any questions for Mastermind?
No, not specifically. I checked mine just for a bit of fun on the board. It's just cool to see another New Zealander around. Actually, it's probably the fourth, maybe fifth New Zealander that I've seen in this game before. So yeah, it's cool to have another one of us around. Kia ora, bro.
Yeah. It's good to see another
Alias. They do exist.
To be honest, I think one is too many as it is. So,
Ned Kaye, do you have anything that you want to ask Mastermind before we close this out?
I actually do. I had a joke question that I posted in the chat, which was, "What's your favorite part of the very hungry caterpillar?" But I'll stick to a serious one.
I'll
And
answer. I'll answer his favorite part of the hungry caterpillar. It's where the hungry caterpillar eats the leaves for the first time, and that's his favorite part.
it brought tears to my eyes. I guess my
It's
question.
the only part that didn't bring blood from the brain.
Shut the fuck up.
Chris Page, second joke of the podcast ever. Oh, we've done it.
Let's get some claps, everybody.
Vinny,
Anyway.
play us out.
No,
From now, tomorrow,
no,
and
Vinny,
forever.
no, Vinny, shut up. I love you. Shut up, Vinny. No, Mastermind. What I was going to ask was, based just on all of your work, through all of your RPs, is there any specific storyline or moment in one of your role plays that has kind of stuck with you and influenced more of how you start writing going forward?
Okay, there's a couple. One was the first one was up at, when I went up against Vinny Lane, and I did the countdown. It sort of threw him off, and I thought, oh shit, I'll throw in Vinny Lane off, the great Vinny Lane, and I almost won that match, but by just doing something simple like a countdown, and so I really enjoyed doing that. And the second one was where and no, Gator can attest to this, when I was going up against Sebastian Duke, and I managed to write out a role play by saying, build a bridge and get over it, and I drew all this bridge stuff, and it was one of my.
I'm so happy that you mentioned that. Me and Lane do not shut up about this moment that Mastermind wrote, because we just find it so hilarious and just so good that he literally built a bridge in an RP just so his opponent can get over it. It's fantastic. It's the best thing.
It was one of my best role plays ever.
It's so good, so fucking good. Sorry, carry on.
No, and I thought, okay, and I got a like Gator said, that I got a good reaction from it, and I thought, wow, all I did was a simple bridge, and everything that was connected to bridge, and put it in there, and it was a big hit. So to me, that was because it was a big hit, that was one of my favorite role plays that I ever wrote.
I just want to butt in again as well. Like, we've mentioned this before. Like, again, me and Mastermind know each other fucking years and years.
Yeah.
It's like, and I love comedy and writing, but like Mastermind, he can pull off. I don't even know if he does it, even though he knows he's doing it. He can pull off like such a great dry humor that he can just do it so fucking well, and like that build a bridge moment, it's just so fucking funny. And like it's just so dry, and it's just so smart, and like it's just you do a great job, like just with that stupid dry humor that I don't even think you pick up on sometimes.
No, I don't sometimes. Yeah,
it's just brilliant, mate. Honestly,
he's got a really great wit that just you
exactly.
can feel whenever he's just writing and he feels it, like it always comes through whenever I read his stuff. It's one of the reasons I've missed him not being full time.
Yeah, like same here. It's just not the same being full time without like being part time. It's just hanging around the boards. I can't even write, but I can still hang around the boards.
Mastermind, man, this has been a fun little trip with you, brother. I definitely appreciate you stepping on and chatting it up with us tonight.
I was nervous, but you guys made it really, really fun to hang around and be around and talk about things and that. And it was really good.
I hear people all the time, oh, I want to do the podcast, but I'm nervous to talk to you guys. Well, I don't understand why. Like, you hear us every week, and we don't change.
You guys are legendary, that's why.
They're afraid of you berating them.
Yeah.
No, you guys are legends in my eyes.
What the fuck are you doing?
Well, that's punishment.
I'm here to exact revenge on my country for that tea party in Boston that happened years ago.
Don't dump it again.
Don't dump it. I'm keeping my eye on you, Free in particular. Because
This
I
one has
know this
been
podcast it's just going to turn into a Boston Tea Party over again. And I know if I step away, it's just going to fucking happen.
what
The
I know
case-
for sure is that this podcast has landed some great gems in the future for uh, a blooper reel for sure. It's been a very fun one to be able to sit back and shoot the shit with you guys, especially literally this one's covering the globe with Gator over in England and Mastermind down in New Zealand and spot appearances from Alias, who's in Australia, and pretty much the rest of us are stateside. So again, we're looking forward to seeing your eventual return. I know that you got a
It'll happen. It'll happen. It'll be early next year. Hopefully, it'll happen. I'm itching for it to come back.
well, you got to take care of yourself first, brother. Like I know
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
we've made some jokes here and there, but what your situation is a serious one.
Yep.
And it's one that we're all glad that you were able to kick out of it because it could have got a lot worse than what it did. So it's not
I
a
was
matter of if, it's
grateful.
a matter when.
Yeah, I was grateful that Theo and Vinny were always checking in on me during the first month or two after it happened and making sure that I was okay and not doing anything about coming back or anything like that. I was grateful for them too, and they were really supportive of that. And I can't say enough about them. They're always there, making sure I'm fine and making sure that I'm not doing anything that I shouldn't be doing, like coming back too fast and I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for you guys too. So it's amazing that you guys stick with me in that, and I'm grateful for that.
Well, you did dip your toe back in the water. Now here's a
You
question
know,
I
I mean,
probably should have
you gotta
asked.
rehab yourself. You're a member of, like you said, it's a family. You know, it's a disjointed, weird family, kind of dysfunctional, but it is a family nonetheless. And
Yep.
you know, we're all in this together. Even though we all say some harsh shit to each other on the boards occasionally, um, it's all in good fun, and nobody should be getting hurt or anything like that. You rest up, bud. Your spot isn't going anywhere, and when you come back, we're all going to look forward to what you got.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back.
Here's one question for you that I should have asked while we were actually in that segment, but it just came to me. You dipped your toe back in the water, probably within the last couple of months with Morbid when you took on the Bastards.
Yep.
That was like your first like series of role plays since the incident. How did that, from your perspective as a writer, because you were out for so long, how did you come back into the mix and how did it feel to like kind of get those first three role plays together?
Because I wanted to team. I've always wanted a team with Morbid, because he's one of my favourite role players as well as all you guys, and he was always just focused on just doing himself, so to speak. But then when he said yes to teaming with me, I was out. Good. Then I've got to work this out. So I tried doing the best I could, and I got the first one out of the way, which was okay, and then the second one out of the way, which was not to my best. And when I tried my third, I knew I'd come back too fast. But at least I wanted to give it a good shot with Morbid, and yeah, and it just worked out that I just had enough in me to just put out, and I knew that was enough, and I just couldn't do any more after that. So once I knew that I still needed time to recover from my injury, and I just couldn't do any more after that. And once I've recovered, and I know that I can, I'll be back full time.
Can I just add on as well? Sorry, because like the last time it was back on the pro boards when we didn't have the full site together. Like Mastermind, you face Morbid in the 3 stage of hell match.
It was 5 stages of hell.
Five stages of hell. Sorry, yeah, and Morbid was basically gone after that match. It was like because basically what happened, like the cage just fell on top of Morbid, and because he couldn't write for a bit. was you wanting to team with him part of that? Or was like the kind of like in storyline, or was it just like a OOC like kind of like connection that you just wanted to write with him?
It was the first time that I really put across to him, do you want to team up against with me? And he said he wanted to, but then he had really bad writer's block. And it was where I noticed that too, because I had writer's block in 2017, 2018 before I came back. And he said he would be back, and he would think about teaming up with me once he got back. And when he came back, I asked him again, and he said yes. And that was basically around the same time as you said, Gator, that we had that 5 stages of hell match, and we would see how it went. But then he had that writer's block.
A damn 5 stages of hell, man.
Yeah.
I guess that's gonna tie this one up, guys. Like I said, this has been a really good episode. I think it's gonna bring a lot of entertainment out there to the masses. Mastermind, again, man, we appreciate you coming on.
It's all
and you're
been fun.
always
Thanks.
welcome back.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, it's been fun. Thank you, guys.
And Gator, man, we appreciate you coming in to sit in the co-host chair this evening, because you've definitely made it more than entertaining.
I miss you, Gator.
Yourself. I miss you too, but everyone else go fuck themselves. I'm still angry.
Oh, now you're angry again. See, you change like a goddamn. Your fucking emotional state changes more than a woman on her period.
Wow. I prefer to be more like a what's it called, a weather thing. You know those weather things that they have in America with a crow on top and it changes to the wind? Them cunts. I prefer to have that term. Mastermind, I have no hard feelings towards you. Paige and TK can go fuck themselves. Robbie, he's okay in my books. But you other two can actually go suck a dick. I don't care about you anymore in my life. Oh God, he's doing it. It's not the first dick sucking on a podcast we've had yet.
We're making history, guys. We're making history. We're train wrecked out of here at the very end. TK, Burbs, wish our guest a parting adieu for us, if you would.
A parting adieu.
Mastermind, I'm glad you came on. Gator.
Yep, I'm glad. I enjoyed it.
Go play soccer.
TK, go actually fuck yourself. If I ever see you in fucking Hillbillyville, wherever the fuck you live, I'm gonna smack your tits so hard. I don't care anymore.
I like it.
Don't threaten him with a good time. There's only one thing left to do here, and that's to send it over to Vinny Lane. Take us out, brother.
Go fuck yourself, Chris Page.
From now, tomorrow, and forever. Fuck you, Ghost Tank.
Thanks for listening to the Xwf Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Xwf YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at XWF1999. And don't forget to check us out at XWF99.com. Be sure to join us next time where the action never slows down.